How you guys? How you guys doing? What's up? How you doing? Greetings. Ho- I hope you got. Hope everybody's doing good out there. Um, I'm gonna play part of a video I find really intriguing, and it's Taylor Made Dreams made an excellent point. But I'm gonna play a little bit of his video, and then I'm gonna show you another. Then I'm commentate, make my comments. And this is being a single man, and he talks about dating in America. But I'll take you straight to the video.
um, the video I did the other night. A lot, a lot of men that got their shit together, right? A lot of men that upwardly mobile men. A lot of men that make this money. A lot of men don't have 25 kids out there. You know, a lot of men who ain't tied up in court or bullcrap. And I'm just gonna say it. There's not a big pool for high value men to be dating in the United States. And okay, so that was one of the comments that I made about high value men actually dating in the United States. But it seems like there is an even worse or alarming trend, behavior pattern going on in the US with men. So I'm going to bring in, right? I'm going to bring in Michael McCornish, who is a CNN contributor, and I'm going to share with you a broadcast that he did, and I'm gonna have all this linked in the bottom. That he did of what's going on in America and with men dating in America. So let's listen up. All right. Sorry, wrong video.
Major problems with regard to the mental health of our adolescents, surges in depression and suicidal ideation, especially true for our girls. This week I found cause to worry about young men. This headline from The Hill, it caught my eye. Most young men are single, most young women are not. The story reported that as of 2022, Pew Research Center found 30% of U.S. adults are neither married, living with a partner, nor engaged in a committed relationship. Nearly half of all young adults are single. Now, look at these numbers. 34% of women, twice as many, a whopping 63% of men. What explains that? I pulled the Pew study and I read with interest. Turns out since 2019, the share of single men who say they're looking for dates or a relationship has declined from 61% to 50%. In 2018, 28% of men ages 18 to 30 reported they'd had no sex in the past year, compared with 18% of women of that age. The Hill report said men in their 20s are more likely than women in their 20s to be romantically uninvolved, sexually dormant, friendless, and lonely. They stand at the vanguard of an epidemic of declining marriage, sexuality, and relationships that afflicts all of young America. Among the causes, among the factors, a reliance on social media and online porn. But also, more young women are hooking up with each other or dating and marrying slightly older men, and heterosexual women are getting more choosy.
Okay, so look at what he said. He said a lot more women are hooking up with each other. So a lot of women now are choosing to be in gay relationships or just having fun, having sex with females until they find that partner, that male partner that they want to have sex with. The younger women are trying to grab the bag and hooking up with older gentlemen, right? And then they say the heterosexual women are becoming more choosy. Now, if you have so many men not having sex, because remember the statistic you talked about, what the hell is happening in America with men not having sex? I mean, the rate of depression for men in America has skyrocketed. And it's going to contribute to a whole lot of other unhealthy behavioral patterns within America. Let's keep moving.
Other troubling statistics about men come from a 2021 study from the Survey Center for American Life. They found the share of men who have 6 or more close friends, which in 1990 was 55%, by 2021 had shrunk by half. Meanwhile, those with literally 0 close friends, which stood at 3% in 1990, has zoomed to 15%. An expert quoted by The Hill said this disconnect can have catastrophic consequences for young men. Quote, in the worst case scenario, the young American man's social disconnect can have tragic consequences. Young men commit suicide at 4 times the rate of young women. Younger women are largely responsible for rising rates of mass shootings, a trend that some researchers link to their growing social isolation. Well, those words reminded me of a conversation that I had over a year ago right here on CNN with NYU professor Scott Galloway.
Okay, so I'm pausing the video right here because Brother O'Shea, Brother O'Shea, let me just say that, had a retort about this. And I actually enjoyed his retort more than even I can put it. I think it was quite more elegant than I can put it. So I'm going to share with you what he said in the intro of that video. So let's take it to Brother O'Shea and let's roll from there.
Some of this information for many of us is normal. We know about this. But I think something that wasn't talked about in that Pew Research article was the fact that so many men used to have a lot of friends. Now, I want to stop right there because we don't think so much of it. Like when I was younger in the 90s, I had more friends because, I was less on the internet and obviously I was younger. But I always thought the reason why I have less friends is because, well, I'm a little bit older now and I'm living in a different country. So, of course, I don't have the friends that I used to have. And then I'm looking at this information here and I'm just seeing that there's a reason why men don't have friends. Now, what does that have to do with the lack of dating? Stick with me, okay? Now, in my grandfather's generation, and even in his older years, he had a lot of friends. What did those friends do? They went to church together. They went to picnics together. It was family functions, right? And because of that whole community aspect, we had much more of a community. What do I mean when I say a community? Well, in the black community, even in the 80s and 90s, which I call the last generation of Medea, you had a lot of blacks that had barbershops, blacks that had mechanic shops. You had blacks that had restaurants. So because of that community, money was circulating more than it does now. And of course, when you have those things, men are more masculine, and obviously you get to meet more people through that fellowship. But that's not how people are meeting today. It's very unlike it was when we...
Okay, so notice something that he said. Back in the day, men were more, masculine, right? Back in the day, you had where, you had role her towels. You don't see that anymore. Everything is, they created this word like back in the, I think the late 90s, called unisex, right? Where, you know, you could buy a piece of clothing and it could be for man or woman, you know? So I think with the destruction of masculinity and trying to feminize everything that they're doing today, it is creating a huge problem with men who want to be men who want to be that alpha man or even that beta man, you know, because the lines are like skewed. It's shady. It's sliding off the scales, you know, and America is becoming this melting pot of anything fucking goes. Literally anything goes, and that's why I gotta give my shout out to the continent of Africa. Some of the presidents, the president of Rwanda, the president of Tanzania, who fought back. Because remember, Barack Obama was trying to like say, hey, listen, we'll hold back aid if you don't include homosexuality into your forum and make it a part, make it a law that, you know, there'll be no discrimination. And they said, no, you can hold back the aid. You cannot come to our country and dictate policy on how we do. Like I said, you know, America it wants to present themselves as this inclusion. But in fact, America, masculinity, American men are losing. So what's the alternative? The only alternative is to go outside of the matrix, go outside of that box. Because let's face it, man, I mean, America literally is going straight to hell in a handbasket. But let's get back to the program. And I'm going to let Brother O'Shea, Jim Jackson, go ahead and finish his retort.
You are coming up. And that brings us to NYU professor of the School of Business, Mr. Scott Galloway. Now, he was on CNN last year talking about this same thing. And very interesting, Michael McCornish, the guy you heard previously, noted that he was the only one that would take this interview. In other words, Mr. Galloway was talking about the problems that men were having, but a lot of the stations thought it would be misogynistic just for him to talk about the problems of men. So,
okay, so notice what Brother O'Shea Jackson said. Michael McCornish of CNN contributor was the only one that would tackle this issue because they were scared of you being too pro-male. But now, anything that's pro-female is promoted. Is promoted, is promoted, is promoted, is promoted, is promoted. Right? Anything that's pro-male is like, hey, I don't want to touch it. That's like a hot button. You know, the emasculating of men, and let's just put it plain, the cutting off the nuts of men is becoming part of American fabric. This is why people like this lunatic Donald Trump has become so popular among masses of people. The Democrats have gone so far left, they just went off the scales. Right? The right-wing party have gone so far right, they went back into 1664. And it's like America has no middle ground. You know, it's either let's bring back the good old days, you know, which wasn't good to people that look like me, or let's have a society where we don't even have genders.
or want to add that. But Professor Scott Galloway breaks something down also in the second part of the interview about what's really going on with men in today's world.
And then, Scott, you toss in the influence of social media and how relationships today, they don't come from, in our era, happenstance and mingling, right? They come from swiping, and that further accelerates this issue. Am I right?
Oh, it's been the chaser to it. I mean, to have an honest conversation about this, we have to be honest, and that is that men and women have different mating criteria. One quarter of men saying economic viability is a key criteria to mate. 3/4 of women say that is important. And when you're on a two-dimensional format, where now it's 1 and 2 relationships begin online, it used to be 1 and 4 just a few years ago, it gets distilled down to a small number of criteria. Specifically for men, it's does she look attractive, and specifically for men, is he able to signal his ability to garner resources in the future? An average attractive male on Tinder gets swiped less than 1% of the time, and there's 3 men on Tinder for every 1 woman. So you've distilled it, you've taken out one of the key components of mating dynamics, and that is vibe, humor, body language, pheromones, the ability to be, quite frankly, a little bit persistent in the pursuit of a romantic relationship. We have no third places anymore, no places to meet. People aren't going to bars, they aren't sports league, they aren't going to church, they aren't even going to work. So it gets distilled down to very 1 or 2 dimensional attributes. And the reality is women are much choosier than men, and they can apply those screens, and they allocate all of their attention to a small number of men that results in just essentially at the end of the day, a lack of opportunities. Chris Williams summarized it perfectly. He called it the high heels effect. In the last 40 years, more women have graduated from college than men, and they're not interested in mating with non-college grads. They now own more homes, single women, than single men. So what you have is women say they won't date anyone shorter than them, 50% of them. Effectively, what you have metaphorically over the last 40 years is women have been getting taller and taller, and men have been getting shorter and shorter. How many of us have said, I know a ton of great single women, they can't find a date? That's not true. They can't find a date. They can't find a man they find economically or emotionally viable.
Right.
If we don't make a massive investment in young people and make more economically and emotionally viable men, we're going to see a lack of household formation, we're going to see a decline in the middle class, and we're going to see, quite frankly, just a lot of young men who are terrible citizens.
Okay, so bear with me. So what he's saying is in America, you now need to manufacture men. So we need to go into a factory or whatever and manufacture more manly men. When basically you're writing laws to emasculate the men. And now you got to figure out there's such imbalance emotionally, spiritually, even physically, because they say women are getting taller, men are getting shorter, and men in America. Listen, there is an unhealthy, sick, I would even say sadistic aura over America. We know that with the BRIC, right, that these countries are standing up against America, trying to make sure that America is what's it was. We know that countries as small as Cuba, they're not afraid of America anymore. We know that there's been over 300 wars that America won't speak about because they're not on the book wars, but it's happened. And 100 of them, 150 of them, has happened in the last 50 years. So, I mean, into other countries and trying to all call it national security. And so I know I'm going out on a limb here, so stay with me. But it's all to control other economies, all to control behavioral patterns of other economies, to make other economies, to make other countries more Americanized. And let's give America credit. It has done a great job. It has absolutely done a great job. I mean, it's crazy. I forgot the number, but there is an insane number of American bases throughout the world. America has more bases in other countries than they have embassies. And that's fact, not fiction. More bases. So that influence. And like I said, looking at what's happening in America, no wonder so many countries are rejecting America. You know? Because they don't want to emasculate the men in their country. They actually proud of men being men. They actually celebrate men being alphas, men being betas, just men being men. Like women actually celebrate women being women. But in America, man, for the average Joe, for the average guy, man, it's horrible.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's like
Yes.
really freaking bad.
Yes.
But let's just go ahead and finish up with CNN's commentary, and then we'll get into a conversation. I'll read some of your comments on the side.
You know, I want to talk about this. This is very important. In today's world, most meetings, about 50%, are happening online. When I was coming up in the 90s and 2000s, people thought you were crazy for dating somebody off of like Yahoo Messenger or Black Planet. But this is quite normal. People are meeting across, the world, across the United States, picking up, moving to different cities. And how are people doing so? They're doing so with things like Match.com or Tinder, and even average, normal, attractive guys who in times past would have a lot more opportunities don't anymore. That is because the most attractive men are getting all of the attention. Why is that? Well, women also like guys who have...
All right, so this is what I want to know. So, and basically, Brother O'Shea commented on basically what they were saying on CNN about the most attractive men are basically getting all the women. Right? So my question is, I mean, is the average Joe actually getting sex in America? Because I can tell you, you get a whole lot overseas. Let me tell you, out of America, you don't have to be this smooth, suave Rico. You don't have to be a cat that's, all big, buff. You could be this guy, this square dude, right, who wears these round Oracle glasses, who wears these white socks and sandals, got this gut, walking down the street, and can attract a beautiful lady. I'm not talking averagely, I'm talking about a beautiful lady. Because, and especially in Southeast Asia, they're more interested in how do you treat me, first of all, and the family is more interested in how you treat me, and then how can you help us. Now, for people who say, it's all gonna go down to money. Let me tell you something. It's always about money. All right, it's always about money. If you're a man, it's always about money. Okay. Now, there are relationships where it's not just transactional relationships. But if you're a man, you're going to spend money if you're going to have a relationship. I don't give a damn what kind of relationship it is with a woman. You're going to spend money. So let's just knock that off the table. But my point is, I don't understand why men stay in the U.S. and actually go through this bullshit when you can go overseas and basically be a king. Why get treated like a pauper? Not even a pauper, a court jester. Why stay in the matrix, get treated like a clown? Get overlooked, right? From some dude who's going to use this Instagram chicks, and you stay there and you're like, I would like to be this guy, even though this guy is going to get used. Trust me, it's going to happen. Or from a chick who's like, before I sleep with you, I sleep with my girlfriend. I don't understand why men stay in the U.S. and actually put up with this bullshit. I mean, if somebody can help me understand that, please, help a brother out. Help me understand this. All right, so we're gonna finish this up.
Galloway is talking about the empowerment of men, and in this article he talks about the great Dwight Eisenhower, how he created the middle class and investing into the infrastructure that brought that out. I think what guys don't understand is that men's role have stayed pretty much constitutive. I always use this argument talking about my grandfather. My grandfather in 1949 was 31 years old. He was baptized at the National Baptist Church in North Richmond, and he had a third grade education, but he was expected to do many things for the family. Now, obviously, women, they were oppressed in American society, and they have much more freedoms now, and it's much more favorable for a woman to have a job, to have gainful employment, even running businesses, even having home ownership. Women's roles have changed. Men's roles are the same. And most men can look at their mother and their grandmother and see how their grandfathers or mothers were treated, and look at the dating pool, and what guys are saying is, wait a minute, you want me to get married when I'm getting less than what my father had, yet I still have to be the same man as them? What's the incentive? And that's what Mr. Galloway, I don't think, is actually either discussing or understands. Me.
Okay, so O'Shea had a great point. He's not discussing underlying issues in that Pew poll, and Pew is a very respectable polling operation. When you hear like, oh, there's a Pew poll done about it, it's a very respectable company. It's a very respectable organization that does these polls basically on society and everything else. Society. They do it on voting, the whole 9 yards. But my question is always going to be the same. Getting outside of the matrix. The average man, where do you stand in America? And what kind of woman can you expect to get in America with all of this other influences, right? Even in the whole dating online, you heard him say that, listen, there's 3 men to every 1 woman in these dating apps, right? So if there is 100,000 women in these dating apps, there's 300,000 men. And women are always going to what? The guy that they're attracted to. Women are almost becoming men. Men love with their eyes first. They're attracted by their eyes. Now women are taking on those same attributes of men. And that's why, Kevin Samuels used to talk about femininity so much. Women want to be more masculine. So now they want to take on masculine roles. They want to take on masculine identities. They want to take on masculine way of even dating now. I mean, it's sick. I don't understand why you stay in that cesspool. But let's go open up the conversation now. Let's open up the conversation. Let me see. All right, I just got to give a shout out to the first people in line. What's up? This?
I'm stopping right here, but he's absolutely right. I mean, I've seen it, and it really is. It's kind of depressing. And I'm gonna go to the next video, and I'm gonna give my commentary after this.
Amid global market volatility, stock market
Shout out to
losses
Taylor
and
Made
rising
Dreams.
inflation have left investors with few options.
I don't submit to no slave. I submit to my slave master, which is the white man, but I would never submit to no slave, which is the black man.
Where have you ever heard anything like this in any other culture? I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it. It's rough to hear her say this.
You don't know what you know.
This gonna be an interesting one, ain't it?
I have been saying that there are good women here in the U.S., which I still believe that they are. But I saw this video, y'all. I would not want to subject any person, man or woman, of having to dig through this. Allow me to read the text up here. It says, I do not submit to no slave. I submit to my slave master. Y'all, this joint is out of control. It's out of control. Austin Holloman was right.
Every day I get online, I always complain about black women, at least black men. Black women this, black women that. Our name just always in y'all mouth. Black women are submissive towards black men, how white women are submissive to white men. Well, because the white man is the slave master. The rest of the people are the slaves. Why would I submit to a slave? I don't submit to no slave. I submit to my slave master, which is the white man, but I would never submit to no slave, which is the black man. You supposed to submit just like me. Why would I be submissive towards you when you got somebody you need to be submissive towards too?
Woo! I normally will interrupt these, but I wanted you to hear it one time straight through, and we're about to go back through it.
Every day I get online, I always complain about black women, at least black men. Black women.
Every day I get online, men are always complaining about black women, it's at least black men.
These black women that. Our name just always in y'all mouth. Black women are submissive towards black men, how white women are submissive to white men. Well, because the white man is the slave master.
She said because the white man is the slave master. Where have you ever heard anything like this in any other culture, in any other demographic of people? I haven't seen it. I haven't heard it. It's rough to hear her say this. And it made me, I'm not mad about it. It makes me sad. And I'm gonna explain this. So the white man is the white master. All right, or is the slave master. So let's go.
The rest of the people are the slaves. Why would I submit?
All the rest of the people are the slaves.
To a slave. I don't submit to no slave. I submit to my slave master, which is the white man. But
she submits to her slave master, which is the white man. But here's where it gets real heavy, y'all.
I would never submit to no slave, which is the black man. You supposed to submit just like me. Why would I be submissive towards you when you got?
She said she would never submit to no slave, which is the black man. So she used the word, and this is a word I do not like using, is the word never. Never will make a fool out of you more often than not. And after that, she actually said that we're supposed to be submitting to. So not only does she put herself in a position of subjugation, but she wants to drag us along in that boat as well. The lovely ladies wonder why black men are catching flights, why black men are seeking their long-term female partners overseas. They wonder.
That's somebody you need to be submissive towards too.
We need to be submissive towards them too, is what she's saying. Absolutely unbelievable. When you hear the rhetoric that this lovely lady just spewed on a public platform, they teach this in corporate America, they teach this in the military, they teach this in professional sports. When you look at advertising, one of the things that they always do is protect the brand. Do you all remember when Tiger Woods got in trouble? He had a great Buick endorsement and all these other endorsements. They all took a step back from him. Why do companies do this? And we talk all the time about success leaving clues and success principles translating. Because despite what people say, I don't care what you think about me and everything, the way the world operates is your reputation precedes you. Not just as an individual, but as a group as well. Why can I not find a single stitch, a single duet, a single rebuttal video on what that lovely lady just said by women that share her color, that share her face? Why can't I find that anywhere? Why do you think one of the first things that they do in the military is they strip you down and they put you in a uniform and they teach you how to present this basic clothing in the most professional, crisp, strapped fashion as possible, so that everybody is on message and everybody is on code, and then when you are seen as public and you are representing the brand of the military, when you are representing the brand of the Army, the Navy, the United States as a whole, and if you violate. If you are caught in the bar drinking in your service blues or something like that, you are immediately going to face consequences. Kevin was so adamant about black men not only protecting, but building upon and improving the image that they have. Everybody else understands the importance of protecting their individual demographical brand and image, except for the lovely ladies. Why is it that these lovely ladies are not policing their own? They have already made it everly apparent that they want us to keep their names out of their mouth. I want you to listen again. Here we go, real fast.
Me and I always complain about black women, at least black men. Black women this, black women that. Our name just always in y'all mouth.
Our name just always in y'all mouth. There it is. So they don't want us to say anything. So why is it that they are not saying anything to themselves? So I have teams that work multiple shifts at multiple sites around the DMV area. I have a conversation, we go over stuff and everything. And last night we had a very solid conversation. And I explained to them a little bit my leadership style. I am a hands-off leader because when it comes down to it, I can micromanage you, I can hold your hand the whole way through, I can be a helicopter leader, manager, mentor. But what happens when a tree grows in the shadow of another tree? Its growth is stunted. You have got to give people, individuals, on a group level and on a personal level, the width and the breadth to grow in the way that they're going to grow. For the past 50 plus years, our lovely ladies have decided that they want all of the width and all of the breadth without any outside interference to grow the way they wanted to grow. After 5+ decades of growth, we see the gnarled, twisted ways that many of them, not all, shout out to the all police, boom, not all, but so many of these ladies have grown into these crazy ways of thinking and acting. And you have nobody but yourself to blame. You have got to make sure that you are self-correcting as a group, ladies, and you don't do that. Men do it all the time. How many content creators have held Myron Gaines to task? Fresh Prince CEO to task? Derek Jackson to task? Dr. Umar Johnson to task? We hold ourselves accountable, and we do it loudly and publicly so that the world knows that we disavow a lot of the activities that a Boyce Watkins would do and preach. Speaking of preach, how many of us have held the likes of a Jamal Bryant to task? Shout out to the Duke, O'Shea Duke Jackson. For real, we do it. Sisters do it. Do you all remember when Tommy Lauren used to be a commentator, I believe, on Fox News, got up here and said that all men are trash or all men are garbage? Y'all remember that? They went so hard on her, she issued a full apology the next day, and I'm willing to bet you this. It wasn't the white men that made her apologize. It was the white women. I believe the white women were like, yo, you're effing it up for everybody. You better take that back just as loud as you said it originally. But we look at the lovely lady here, and nobody said anything. I have defended the right of each and every one of you to have free speech. But understand, for the freedom of speech that you have, there are quite a few people that have had to sacrifice more than you can ever imagine. I do not want to hinder free speech, but here's what I do want. I want there to be some form of barrier for entry when it comes to having a platform. People are programmed a certain way, and when you see a person with a platform speaking with some type of conviction and authority, the masses are really going to, more often than not, believe what you have to say. Minister Jab said, yo, I wish YouTube costs $500 a month for you to have a platform. I agree, Minister Jab. I wish there was a barrier for entry for this. I wish there was one for TikTok. I wish you actually had to almost get licensed to have a platform. Your background had to be checked. If you've been a bum sitting on the couch, not doing anything with your life, how dare you get out here and advise people? If you are known for doing the craziest things, early terminating your kids and stuff like that, You can say what you want to say, but say it over there. You don't get up on a platform and say it. I dated a young lady, I talked to her about her before. Half Eritrean, half Swedish. Gorgeous girl. And cool as hell and very smart. She had been married before, and she had 2 sons. And she was a good mother. She was like, I think that marriages should be like renewable contracts. Like, you should have to go in and sit down at the negotiation table, bang it all out, get it notarized, have a mediator there to negotiate both sides, and the contract is there, and then you would have to renegotiate that contract every 3 to 5 years. If you all cannot come to an equitable or an agreed upon negotiation at the 3 to 5 year mark, the marriage relationship dissolves and you go with what you came with. That's it. There needs to be more of a responsibility on the individual that gets out here and says these things and does these things, because if you don't do that, you get this.
I'm gonna stop right here. I'm gonna finish my commentary. Well, on the first video with Taylor Made Dreams, he's right, because over the past decades, I have met women here in the States, and it's been like a doozy. I mean, even just trying to meet a friend over on Facebook, you got women that say, like, they want friendship. Next thing you know, they consider want somebody. They shadow ban and playing games and putting up false photos. Then they lead you on to believe, some playing mind games. Once you tell them you have a job, then it's like they want you. You got women on there that want you to give them money just because they a body in a bathing suit. They want you to just give them money. I mean, entitlement is just unbelievable. Then, like I said, sometimes they even use false photos. They don't want to reveal themselves, but they're not serious. They play mind games. I'm serious. I mean, it's crazy, man. The entitlement is unbelievable. I just mentally just checked out like some men. I understand, man, but I would tell the young men, don't delete yourself. Don't delete yourself. Do not delete, any man of any age. Do not delete yourself. Just work hard. Stack your cash. Like he said, get your mental health right. Get your physical health right. And that's it. And get up out of here. And I agree. And if I'd known this years ago, I would have did the same thing, because I have seen it in the 80s and the 90s and now. And oh my God, it's getting worse and worse and worse. It is getting worse out there, man. Oh, let me tell you. And it's like, and that's why you can see the women getting masculine, getting choosy. You can see some of these women acting like that. It's like, and then my mother said to me the other day, she said, I know you got a friend, I know you, tell your friend I said hi. My mother always, because she always know in the past I have a girlfriend or a lady friend, but I'll be honest with you, I don't. I haven't, here I'm in another city, outside the city where I'm from, and women here got some issues, man. Some of the women I see out there in my city, like most cities across America, woo, man, the entitlement, the attitude, oh my God. You don't even want to say, look at them half and say hi sometimes. It does knock your confidence down. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's just, man, it's discouraging. Even at church, man, it's just, so I definitely understand that. I can relate to it. And man, if I had the resources, I'll be honest with you, I'd be up out of here too. Because I don't know why I wasted 25, 30 years with women that really have a certain mindset. And once you date them, it's like they put you through all these different changes, but they didn't put the previous guy through the changes. They were doing everything and anything, but as soon as you be that good-hearted average Joe, they put you through hell, man. I mean, they don't give the all in attention that like that a woman probably would overseas with it. Some of these women not doing that no more, man. I mean, it's like they expect you to do that for them, and then some, and then the mindset of having 6 figures, and then once you get to 6 figures, you might look a certain way, and it's like it's just crazy. You sit back and mock and laugh at and make panels and laugh at you. It's just for an average Joe. And I don't mind saying that. I mean, I know I ain't the most handsomest looking man on the block, but but even for average Joes, we might as well. I mean, shit. I mean, and that's true what he said about this country. They have literally neutered the men. I mean, thanks to the Democrat Party, yeah, they did a numbers job. Started with probably with Clinton and went to Obama, and then went with the Biden. They have literally neutered the men in this country. The court systems have neutered the men. Child support have neutered the men. I mean, everything has neutered, and like the men are just. You got some men. And I seen one guy. He literally committed suicide. I'm sorry. He deleted himself because the courts wouldn't give him a break. He was trying to do his best to make his child support, and he wanted to see his son, but he deleted himself. It's crazy, man. So I understand. I feel, and Taylor May was talking about, I can go, bro. I've been a whole decade without sex. Tried that. It took some discipline. Ooh, and sometimes every now and then, like anybody, you have to wrestle with that spirit of lust. But so you won't, but even though it's a sin, certain things, but it's like, man, you can't help. You know what I'm saying? It's in our nature, man. I'm a straight man. And I ain't on no down low or buy low or anything. And I ain't for the same team. But being a straight man, it's rough out here, man. I'm telling you, shoot. Shoot. I mean, we had this society, but that's true. That's smart what some of them countries did. Keep that United States, that Western mentality out of your country, man. I'm telling you, because it did some damage. And I mean, it's to the point that men are giving up in the Gen Z, the millennials, and Gen X's generations. That's messed up. So yeah, the morality, wow. And you look, and women, like he said, women are going towards other women. They literally turn off their nature about it towards men to take on. They literally, and I make videos about the Lilith spirit and the Lilith and Jezebel spirit, which is 2 spirits that two different women that rebel against men and take on the man, saying we don't need men. We'll just be woman to woman. We'll replace each other with another person that look like us, and that's what's been going on, man. And then you have some men that are weak, they turn it into women, saying that, and it's some kind of thing where somebody's biological, so you can't even tell what's a man, what's a woman anymore. And it's like now it's called non-binary. I mean, it's just, man, this society, and this is what these other countries are trying to keep that stuff up out of it, because they see all this stuff in the United States is coming, and it's like and that's why there's some people that ain't racing to get over here for what? To be part of that immorality. And now, even though it was extreme with the Taliban, what they did, I mean, over there, but damn, I mean, that's why they probably took all that stuff down off the wall. I mean, you don't have to suppress women like that, but God, dog, man, it's like, They probably watch the internet and computer, and they say, "Oh, now again, oh hell, heck no." When the United States left out of there, they took all that stuff down because that feminist stuff was rising up probably over in Afghanistan, thanks to the West. But they got it back, and then men in different parts of the Middle East, they men, and they hold it down. Even among the religion of being Islam, they hold it down. But it's like this stuff over here, shoot, it's crazy, man. It's like it's anti-man. It's women, and I understand women have a certain thing, but it's like it's literally pushing men out the door, literally, and it's making men be subjugated, even no matter what your job is. You're working man, you're being subjugated. So this is the next country. It was India, Korea, America. What Canada gonna be next? Probably next, and then probably some parts of Europe. And I bet you men are feeling it over there. Men are, this thing is worldwide. Single men, man, and like he said, if you stop having sex, you're gonna reduce the population. Now you and this is what it's done. This is something on a whole spiritual level that is killing life as we speak and replacing it with half robot, half man, half woman, half all this stuff. It's mind-boggling. It really is. So, yeah. But yeah, if I had the resources, man, and continued resources, which I think I'll be the next one up, because I got me a passport. I think I might be, shoot, way things are going. I mean, hey, you might as well try someplace in a part of the world where go to a society where you still have a chance as a straight man. So you won't have to get so depressed and you have to literally think about ain't no other option. But that's and it's sad how that last video. Oh my God! Now you see, but see, Umar Johnson don't talk about that. People, and some of these other women in the pro-black Pan-African movement. What do you do with something like that? What do you do when you have women talking like this? What do you do? And even the Hebrew brothers and Hebrew sisters, what do you do when you have your women talking like that on the second video? What do you do? Why do you think that there are some black men are leaving? Because they hear women talking like that. So it's like, okay, if you're not gonna be that mate, then I have to go to another race of woman, because that's what you're telling me. And like he said, no other culture do that. That's so true. Say that and don't get online and certain numbers and say something like that. Not too many other cultures do that, man. In high numbers, they do it on the low. But this is crazy, man. Only in America, man. We're one of the countries that we got to lead it in dysfunction and anti-man. But yeah, I don't know what to say about this one. But yeah, that's why. Hey, men out there, listen. You get your passport. You average Joes, what they call you lame and everything. Get your passport and go. You got the resources, you got the fun, and you got some chick telling you because you ain't making 600 grand. Save your chips and go. Save your chips and go. Don't delete yourself. Do not delete yourself. There is hope. If you can't find it here, if they don't act like they got some sense here, then you gotta do what you gotta do. This is our straight men. You straight men, heterosexual man that love women. I have to be specific on that. Hey, do what you gotta do. You can't find somebody here, and she's not willing to be on board. oh well, you gotta save your how much money you make, $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, and save your money. Save your money, bro. Save your money. Get up out of here. I'm telling you, I'm with them on this one. I'm looking at it like, God, dog. You know, and I've seen it. I've seen it on. I have been on some dating app, but I've even seen it from even on Facebook. Not no Tinder, not no but these, phew, man. Shh. And then, like I said, get to a certain my age, the women my age, their mind is made up. Their mind is made up. They ain't submitting nothing. They ain't, no. It's their way or whatever. So if you gotta find a younger, someone 10, 20 years younger, hey man, do what you gotta do. But I'm about to go ahead and end this video. But yeah, you see the stats and everything. So, hey, you think about getting that passport. Get the passport, man. Get the passport. You straight men that love women like myself. Get a passport. Save up. You know, get the mind and body right. You know what I mean? If you single, do not give up. Do not give up. And if these women don't want to act like they got any sense, there's other women that do got sense. That will gladly take you whatever you look like and however your personality is. And that's a fact. And let them be whatever they want to be. I mean, it's going to be like in the last days. They're going to be, where all the men have gone? Oh, you didn't push them away. You didn't just ran them off. So to the women that have that kind of mindset, you did a good job and drove all a good average Joes, lames and geeks and everybody out the way. Now you got to turn to each other and turn that trans non-binary. Good luck with that. Till next time, take care.